Hey VIPs, this is Dina Rico and I've got another awesome VIP exclusive project for you. I'm so excited about this adorable box. But what I'm going to show you is not the box, because that video is on my blog. You can check it out. I'll put a link in here for you. But the cards that I created to go in this box. Aren't they amazing? All right, let me show you how easy they are to create. So, first of all, I'm starting with 3 white card bases of Whisper White thick cardstock. And I'm just going to fold these up to form the base of each of my cards. And I've got a little preview for you from the new catalog that starts in just a couple weeks. And that is this beautiful polka dot tulle ribbon. You can see it right here on my box. And then I've used it on each of the cards here as well. Isn't this amazing? So, first of all, what I'm going to do is start with this simple card. This uses the tag punch, one of my faves. So I'm going to take and just punch my 2-inch piece of white cardstock. And then you can see my tag is ready to go. I've got the Daisy Delight stamp set that I'm using, which I know many of you have, so this is perfect for you to make some fun spring cards with. Now I also am combining that with the Perennial Birthday stamp set, because there's some really fun greetings that come in here. I love the Happy Birthday and Today Blooms Just For You is perfect. So what I'm going to do with my first panel is stamp that Happy Birthday in some Peekaboo Peach ink, and I'll be stamping full strength as well as stamped off. So I'll stamp my first one on here, and maybe my second one, and I'm kind of moving them over so they're not all exactly in the same spot. And then you can see I stamped that one again without re-inking. And this time I'm going to stamp off. I also have to tell you guys, I am shooting this video on location from Sheridan, Wyoming with my friend Barb and Kelly. We're here having a little stamping retreat. So everybody say hi. Hi! And we are having so much fun making cards. It is a blast. And the best part is the weather's not that great, so we don't even feel guilty about stamping. Okay, now I'm going to take some Pear Pizzazz ink, and I'm going to stamp the stem, the long stem, on my tag here 2 times. So I've got one right about there, and then another one just a little bit lower. All right, next I will add the tops of these with the solid flower and the detail. And actually I find it is a little bit easier to stamp the solid flower first, and then I'm going to stamp off a layer on the detail, or I'm sorry, the solid. I said that wrong. I stamp the detail flower first, and then I'm doing the solid right over the top. And if you do the detail one first, it's actually a little easier to stamp the solid one because the detail is in darker shade, and that way you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to borrow this for a second. All right, so I'm going to clean my stamp off. This is our new Stampin' Chamois. It's kind of awesome. And it stamps, or it clean stamps really well. Okay, I'm going to do the next flower in Pink Pirouette. So once again, I'll say it correctly this time. I'm going to stamp the detail image first, full strength. Then I'm going to ink up the solid one, stamp it off, and then stamp it right over the top because it's pretty easy to see through and line it up just the way you want. Okay, we'll close this up. Now I'm also going to stamp one of the sentiments from the Perennial Birthday, which is called, or which says, Today Blooms Just For You. Now this is in a big long line. So what I'm going to do instead is stamp it twice. I'm going to do part of it for the first time and then the second part the second time. So to do that, ooh, I just stamped this. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. Dang it. It's all right. Okay. So I'm going to stamp just Today Blooms with my black ink. I'm going to make sure I don't have any ink on the rest of this image, and then I'll stamp this right down. This is definitely one of those instances where you are going to for sure want to stick your butt out so you can get it positioned just right. They're laughing at my awesome stamping advice. Okay, so I'm going to clean my stamp, make sure it's nice and clean, and then I'm going to ink up the second part, which is just for you. Now you could also use a Post-it note to kind of get everything lined up. And once again, I've got my butt out and I'm stamping that down and just for you so I can fit it on my tag just right. Okay, so I'm going to take my tag and pop it up onto my card. Of course, I've already lost my dimensionals. Here they are. And I'm just going to put a couple on here. Like so. If I'm not mistaken, when I made this card, I trimmed my tag a little bit, and I didn't do that this time. So maybe it'll be long enough to cover up my little inking issue. Yep, perfect. Okay, now I'm going to take some of that ribbon I mentioned, and I'm going to tie a little bow. Now what's super fun about this ribbon is you can dye it, color it with your reinkers, your markers, and create any kind of color polka dots that you want. So I'm looking forward to trying that out pretty soon. Ooh, that is not tying well. Let's try once more. All right. Just kind of finagle this back and forth until I like the size that I've got. There we go, and then I'll give that a little trim. And you can adhere this with, I like to put fast fuse, but you can use glue dots or even snail works pretty well to adhere your bow right there. And then I'm just going to embellish with a couple of little rhinestones. I think those add a nice little touch. I'm going to pick these up with my scissors. Like so. And there is my first card, and we'll adhere it to our card base. So really easy. First card. All right. Our next card is going to feature Pink Pirouette. And I'm going to take my scrap of Pink Pirouette and stamp 2 daisies. Okay. I'm going to clean my stamp because it's dirty from when I made my box. I had Peekaboo Peach daisies on the cover of my box, but now I want Pink Pirouette ones. So I'm going to clean this with my Stampin' Chamois. This is just wet, and then I like keeping it in a stamp case, a clear stamp case, because that keeps it moist and juicy. They're laughing at me. Okay, so I'll stamp this twice and then punch it out with my punch, of course. I love this daisy punch. It's so awesome to be able to punch these out so easily. So there's my first and my second. I'll go ahead and adhere these together. And then I'm going to embellish them with a beautiful clear faceted gem, one of my favorite embellishments. They're just so fancy. Okay, so I'll peel one of those off and place it right here on my card. Okay, now I also have a panel of Pink Pirouette cardstock that's going to go right on here, just like before. And this time what we're going to do is add our sentiment and then some ribbon behind. So let me go ahead and do that. The sentiment thank you is from our Daisy Delight stamp set. So I'll ink that up in my Pink Pirouette ink. And then stamp it down here. There we go. And then I'll take some of my ribbon. I'm just going to put some fast fuse right here and do my little zigzag. You know I love doing the zigzag. It's so easy and it does not add much bulk on your cards, which makes it ideal for mailing. You don't have to worry about the post office giving you a difficult time when you go to mail this one. All right, so we'll place that there and then add our daisy. Now on my card, I also stamped and cut out, just fussy cut it, these little leaves that I added behind. So there's that one. And then we have one more card to go. All right, guys, for our third and final card, I have taken my panel of cardstock. This is Sweet Sugar Plum, and I've I've embossed it with the ruffled embossing folder, and then I've left just a little open space at the very bottom to stamp my sentiment. So what I'm going to do is take and tie a knot of ribbon on here. I am telling you guys, this ribbon is awesome. You are going to love this ribbon. Okay, so I'm just going to tie a knot around this layer, and I like that because it hides the ribbon behind the cardstock layer before we attach it to our actual card. And here's a little trick that I actually learned from my friend Deb. When you hold your two ends of ribbon together and then snip them off, they'll be the same length on either side. Isn't that kind of a cool little tip? All right, so there we go. That looks great. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment down here in black ink. So to do that, I'll just pull this out. This is, again, the sentiment from the Perennial Birthday stamp set, which is one of my favorites. It's in the Occasions catalog, but it's carrying over to the annual catalog. So if you have not gotten it, there's still time. Don't worry. But I love the sentiment. Today blooms just for you. I think that's very fun. Okay. Next, I took a large stitched shape square and die cut that on some white cardstock. And I'm going to stamp this twice, kind of up in the corner. So I'll stamp the first time in Pink Pirouette, and then the second time in Sweet Sugar Plum. And I love these two colors together. I didn't actually realize that they would look so good together. So here again is the perfect opportunity to stick your butt out and get that baby lined up just right. Perfect! So awesome. Then I'll take the little solid center, stamp that in Pink Pirouette, and then the detail image, which I need to clean quickly. And I'm going to stamp that in Sweet Sugar Plum. Like so. All right, and of course, you know we're going to have to embellish it with one of our clear faceted gems. They're so pretty, like that. All right, all I need to do is adhere this to my card and pop up my square, and I'm done. So we've made 3 adorable cards that will fit perfectly in our little boxed set, and they are going to be awesome for a great gift for somebody, for a birthday or hostess party gift, or just something really cute to have sitting out in your home. So if there's any of the supplies that you need for this, please shop my online store. You can find the links in the original blog post, and it will have all the items I used for these 3 cards, as well as the items for the boxed set. So thank you guys so much for being VIPs. I really appreciate your business and hope you loved this video. We'll see you again soon. Bye.